So with the coming of the new Warhammer sequel on the horizon, we'll know more about it this Friday coming up. I wanted to go ahead and make this video as a list of things I feel like they need to fix in the current Warhammer game. Just tweaks, updates, patches, you know, that they could add. They need to add onto this game before the next game comes out, the sequel comes out. And I honestly want these things. These things aren't like huge major things. They're just mechanic tweaks and the way the game works tweaks. So there's, I mean, obviously they need to add Kislev. They need to add, I said they need to add the Skaven in here. They need to add, you know, all the other factions need to be buffed up. The one that I don't have in this list because I don't know exactly how to put it in. I honestly, like, it would have kind of fallen under the same wing of, you know, making, you know, rounding, you know, adding more factions and stuff, or tweak or putting more units into the factions, is the Empire. The Empire needs to be a lot stronger because even the Empire by itself, the actual one that's fleshed out and has all the units, Karl Franz's Empire, it gets overtaken, and this is gonna be touched on later, you know, in the video, but it gets overtaken very easily by other factions, such as especially the Crooked Moon faction. So the Empire itself, they need to be buffed up a little bit because they cannot hold their provinces at all. Very, very seldom do they hold them against the outside influences, as opposed to the player who can hold them, hold off against beastmen, orcs, whatever the case might be. So that specifically, like I said, that's not going to be in the list. They do need to do that. It's just that this is just focused on tweaks to the game itself that they have right now. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump right in. Number 5, color. And like I said, these are going to be minor tweaks for the most part, and I think that this is one of those things that needs to happen, in my opinion. I have mods on right now that add, and that's actually going to be the from what I'm deriving this list from, is what I have to put mods on for this game for this game to run the way I want. And again, I'm not in this list. I'm not going to have the mod. I'm not going to add anything about conquering everything, because they specifically for vanilla version, they want each faction to be able to conquer specific things and not conquer specific things. So that's fine by me, honestly. You know, I can do that as a mod, but these other things need to be addressed. And the color in this game is just so bland. I try to fix it before I put the mod on. I try to fix it with the graphics area, where you can tweak the color and tweak the saturation, all that stuff, but it seldom does anything. It just makes things look darker. And what I want is, I want saturation. I want things to pop. I want it to be more colorful. And for a game that's a fantasy game that's derived in a very colorful set of factions, I'm surprised that they don't have this on here, or that they have this game looking so bland and bleak, because of the fact that it seems like it should be more colorful. I mean, in my opinion, this should have gone the same route as Shogun 2. It should have gone the same route as Rome 1, where each faction should have been brightly colored, and right now they're not. I have to add this mod that gives the campaign map really, like, it pops the color of the campaign map, and right now I haven't been able to find a mod that adds the same sort of token to the battle, the custom battle or the regular battle. So if you guys know a mod, let me know. Let Sunjutsu know in the comment section below if you find a mod that you can add to the fights, and make the color from them pop, the saturation pop. You know, not too much, but just enough, because it just looks so bland and boring. Just base game without anything. It looks bleak, and I don't like that. And that's, yeah. Number 4, less raising. Now, this is high up on the list because without the conquer all mechanic or mod, then some factions really only have the option to raise. So that's why it's so far up on the list. But a lot of factions that don't have just that only directive, they just raise far too much, honestly, in my opinion. Like, so I play with this mod that makes it so, and I found a mod similar to that in Attila in Attila, because honestly, I thought raising was cool at first when it came out in Attila. I hate it now, honestly. I just do. And it was because when I first made the video of me talking about raising, right before it came out, when we found out that that was going to be a thing, I was like, well, I mean, hopefully the AI knows when to do raising, because if not, they're going to scorch the entire map. Map's going to look like a checkerboard. It's going to look ugly. It's going to basically be so annoying trying to find out the different things. And yeah, if they seldom use it, that's fine. If they use it, maybe like say this province I can't hold for anything. It's in my north. It's right above me, and then there's an enemy right after that. Well, I'll raise that province, and then the enemy really will have a harder time going through that wasteland, because they'll lose men, usually because of attrition and stuff. That's fine. And this mod actually does that. It lessens the raising that other factions do a lot. And if without it, they just raise too much, especially the Chaos factions. They just destroy everything. And right now, if you have this mod on, then it'll basically they'll just raid. They'll raid, instead of raising them, they'll raid the outposts for the most part. I mean, they'll raid most of them. They'll raise a couple, but they'll raid most of them. So this is definitely important to have. Number 3, improved sieges. Where do I begin? Okay, so sieges in Warhammer aren't as good, in my opinion, as they were in Rome or Attila or anything else that has come before it. Mainly because you only have one side of the wall that you're facing, and the enemy really can just focus everything on that side and just destroy your army, including the towers. They're just way too strong. So you need mods there are a lot of mods to make sure these towers less powerful. And it goes to your benefit when you're being attacked and you're outnumbered, and then the guard towers are defending you. But at the same time, when there's so many siege battles, when it comes to the actual cities, you want that there to be improvement on that. So I would put these guard posts, the guard towers. I'd debuff them a little bit. I'd nerf them a little bit. I mean, I'll make them a little bit weaker, I guess. And then the other thing I would do is, we have so many cool new maps that came out that people are making on their own. Cool siege maps, well, kind of city maps, I guess. It's not the traditional siege that we have right now, but it's like a city and you can just run inside of it, kind of thing. Or like it's an open area. So that's kind of the way I would go, honestly, with some of these maps. Especially if we're gonna go into the new world and we're gonna see like these temple complexes for the lizardmen. That's the way I would have it. I would have it an open area. I mean, yeah, you want some of them to have walls, but to have some of them have open areas we can just run in and like have these cool new improved sieges where you have to like go in through these choke points because they're already open and stuff like that, and then see if you can hold those choke points as a defender. That would be pretty cool. I mean, there are other ways to improve sieges. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have said that you wanted to. They need to, and that's why I want them to do that before the next game comes out. Number 2, Chaos pushed back. Yes, this is the first mod that I grabbed. That's a lie. The second mod that I grabbed. The first one was Conquer Anything. This was the second one. Push Chaos back. Chaos comes way too fast. It comes way too fast. The Chaos invasions happen too early. The Empire cannot fend off like high tier Chaos units that early in the game. They can barely fend off the low tier green skin vampire units that are running around. How are they going to be against the Chaos when they finally come? And the Chaos have huge stacks of looks like trained and disciplined, heavily armored elite units. Like, how's that going to happen? That's the reason that in vanilla, one of the reasons the Empire doesn't last at all very long. So right now I had 2 mods on. I had one that pushed back Chaos, I believe, like 100 turns or something like around, like 50 turns, 100 turns, 50 to 100 turns, and then I have pushed it way back, which is like 200 turns. That gives literally you enough time to, as a player, also to gain your provinces, build your armies, build your tech tree, and have the same thing happen with the other factions. Let them do that too, because right now, like I said, without these mods on the game, the Chaos come too early, and honestly, like, I don't understand how they're gonna do it unless they're gonna add Chaos to the new world as well, and then once Chaos starts on your side, it'll start on their side too, so they'll have to fend off Chaos as well. Maybe that's the way they're gonna be doing it. But if Chaos is just fighting and invading the old world and nothing's happening in the new world, then you might as well just play some of the factions in the new world, because you don't have to deal with that kind of nuisance, in my opinion. And it's not like as broken as, like, say, Civil War was with Rome 2 at first. And the Attila invasion, if you don't destroy right away, is not as annoying as those. for the most part, because you can, if you have disciplined armies, you can fend them off. Like if with the second mod, the push way back one, I was playing as a vampire count, and I was able to destroy the initial invasion force with 2 of my armies, because my armies were heavily elited at that point. They had really good units, and that's what I'm talking about. If you send these elite chaos armies too early, they'll destroy everything. I mean, they made it all the way into Bretonia at one point when I forgot to put the mod on, and that's ridiculous. So that needs to change. Number 1, last but not least, nerfs. So yeah, this game needs a lot of rebalancing with with a good portion of the campaign factions. Especially, first of all, like I already stated, the Empire needs to be buffed up. All the Empire, all the Empire counts, they need to be all buffed up, because right now they're just so weak, ineffectual. And so what I would do is that'd be the first buff. But I said nerfs, scaling and Varg nerf. If you do not have this on when you're playing the vanilla game, they will annihilate Kislev right off the bat in the first, I would say, 50 turns. Dead, gone. Then they will start destroying the Empire, and then they're like the initial chaos wave. Then you have to deal with the first chaos wave. Then you have to deal with the big chaos wave, and that's ridiculous. So as soon as I put on this nerf, it makes them so they kind of stay in their area. They don't attack as often, and I believe it takes them longer to get the some of the higher tier chaos styled units. So that's good. The one nerf that I haven't been able to find is the crooked nose nerf, because they need one. They are way too powerful, and they destroy the Empire too quickly. The dwarves, they just can't. Dwarves are one of the weaker factions, in my opinion, when it comes to the AI controlling them in Total War Warhammer. And I've never seen them take over a huge swath of area. Never. They cannot stand against the crooked moon. They can't. They're not going to be able to. So that they need to be nerfed as well. I would maybe put vampire counts, maybe, but because of the fact that they can just summon so many zombies and they can just refill their ranks so easily, maybe a little bit, not too much there though, just a tweak, because it kind of goes with their lore. Greenskins, nerf that back, because that is ridiculous. They get Wa armies so fast, and when they get these Wa armies should be comprised of weak units, like sort of like the vampire counts are easily able to summon these weak zombies and skeletons. If they want these armies to kind of hold places, and just to be there to hold places, that's fine, or to be an addition to their good army, that's fine. But when you have these Wa armies and they have such high tier units in them, that's just ridiculous. They need to be nerfed, in my opinion. And that's about it, because there aren't that many factions left in the old world that they've added so far. But yeah, those are essentially it. Those are the ones that I want to be nerfed. If there are other ones that you can think of that I might have missed, put in the comment section below and let me know, guys. But anyway, that concludes my list. Let me know what you guys thought of it and what you would change, and if you agree or disagree with any of them. Disagree, I'm fine with. Just let me know if there's something that you just be respectful. If there's something that you wanna that you don't think that should be changed, that that you think that they're doing good, that I put on the list. And let me know other things that you think that should be fixed or tweaked, updated, patched before the next game comes out. Let me know, guys. Let's see if we can get over 100 likes. I've been pushing for 50 likes for so long, and you guys are great. Normally I get around 80 likes. Not every video, but most videos. And so I'm going to start pushing it. I would like to get 100 likes on this video. Please, I would definitely appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are freaking unbelievable and awesome for sticking with me through the hard times, through the good times. It's been about around 3 years. Let's keep going strong. Next Warhammer game. Next historical game. This is going to be Sunjutsu signing off. Take care, guys. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Number 5, color. And like I said, these are going to be minor tweaks for the most part. And I think that this is one of those things that needs to happen, in my opinion. I have mods on right now that add, and that's actually going to be the from what I'm deriving this list from, is what I have to put mods on for this game for this game to run the way I want. And again, I'm not in this list. I'm not going to have the mod. I'm not going to add anything about conquering everything, because they specifically for vanilla version how to put in. And honestly, like it would have kind of fallen under the same wing of making rounding adding more factions and stuff, or tweak or putting more units into the factions, is the Empire. The Empire needs to be a lot stronger, because even the Empire by itself, the actual one that's fleshed out and has all the units, Karl Franz's Empire, it gets overtaken, and this is gonna be touched on later, in the video, but it gets overtaken very easily by other factions, such as especially the Crooked Moon faction. So the Empire itself, they need to be buffed up a little bit, because they cannot hold their provinces at all. Very, very seldom do they hold them against the outside influences, as opposed to the player who can hold them, hold off against beastmen, orcs, whatever the case might be. So that specifically, like I said, that's not going to be in the list. They do need to do that. It's just that this is just focused on tweaks to the game itself that they have right now. So anyways, just tweaks, updates, patches, that they could add. They need to add onto this game before the next game comes out, the sequel comes out. And I honestly want these things. These things aren't like huge major things. They're just mechanic tweaks and the way the game works tweaks. So obviously they need to add Kislev. They need to add I said they need to add the Skaven in here. They need to add all the other factions need to be buffed up. The one that I don't have in this list, because I don't know exactly. So with the coming of the new Warhammer sequel on the horizon, we'll know more about it this Friday coming up. I wanted to go ahead and make this video as a list of things I feel like they need to fix in the current Warhammer game.